All right. Let's bow our heads and thank the Lord for all the gifts and blessings we've been given, and may we use our talents and providing services to others through Rotary. Our motto, service above self, is like that of do unto others as you would have them do unto you. But we are extremely blessed to have the leadership and the Rotary guides that we have and the outreach that we have to do great things around our community and the world. Thank you for the talents and grace that we have. And as we go forward in Rotary, I continue to bless our leaders and those around the world that protect our freedom. Keep them safe and bring them home to their families. All these things we ask in His name. Amen.
Amen.
Okay, and I am standing behind the camera. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Right. Well, you have to you have to do Club Runner under next year's officers. And then also we need to notify RI. Oh, okay. I'll see what I can do. Also, we need to notify Beverly, and I can let Beverly know. And you said there is going to be a training for PEs next month or this month? President-elect. We have about 3 pages of acronyms for Rotary.
I would like to bring up, since we've been talking about membership and we have some potential members, that
Can you speak louder, Rick?
there was just an email that went out from Rotary, and it had some videos with it, which I think would be pertinent for everybody to see. Maybe you should do it at one of our meetings so everybody could see those membership ideas and what we should be doing as we meet and find potential members, and then how we best bring them in and get them active in the club. So I think we should concentrate. I'm not sure who membership chairman is going to be, but we need to have somebody leading that march.
You, Rick.
You know, that's the bad thing about bringing stuff up, isn't it?
Nobody asked me if I wanted to.
I will help, yes, but
We'll all work on it together because I think this is something too, if we could put on our web page and also on our Facebook. And it, right. Right. And I just sent you 3 names of the business cards of 3 people. No, for speakers. One of them is a director elect. One of them is the one David Forward, who wrote the history of Rotary, and the other one is for this girl from Fiji, this lady from Fiji. Okay. Okay. Very good. No, just sign up for ring the bell, ring the kettle thing, and also don't forget Challenge Air. Sign up for Challenge Air. Rick, go ahead and tell them about Challenge Air.
It's coming up. I don't have the date for the next one, but it's where we go out to one of the local small airports, and pilots bring their own planes and fuel, and they fly handicapped and afflicted children with one of their family members up for a flight where the child actually gets to fly the plane. At the end, they get a set of wings from the plane pilot, and they are treated to an afternoon of entertainment. And Rotary participates in this by being one of the team loads. It helps them in and out of the plane. Our club particularly has a fun time doing that. So it's something to look forward to. Plan on doing it. If you go to Challenge Air, you can sign up.
I think it's on the 18th.
That may be right.
Yes. Yeah, the kettle thing. I think you sent out the information last week, and so you have to go to Salvation Army because it's like 2 people at a time. So it's hard to get a whole group to go to one place. You need to do it.
Just one.
Well, they say 1 to 2 people. Okay. So anyway, but that's another thing. And if we'll send out an email again.
And we got to get a name for you.
Right. I heart. Yeah. I don't have anything else.
You cannot see them right now, can you? No. Okay. Okay, can everybody mute? Yeah. So at the end, I'll give you some time to ask questions in case you have questions. So this talk is 90 minutes. When I go to different companies, I'll make it 45 minutes. But since I heard some of you are leaving in 30 minutes, then I'll make it shorter. So you're not going to hear the whole talk. It's just going to be some parts of it. And if you have any questions, you're more than welcome to email me with any questions or anything. So first, I want to thank you for inviting me to be the speaker. I saw it on espeakers.com, and I thought it would be a great opportunity. I've been in other Rotary clubs before. And I love what Rotary does, which is helping a lot of charity work, which is exactly what I do. So it's like my main focus of this talk is climbing your Everest, but I'm not talking about Everest. I'm talking about your Everest, which my Everest right now is not the Everest anymore. It's helping women around the world, helping kids, girls, young girls in developing countries who don't have opportunities, providing education for them. So that's how the story starts. I was in a seminar 4 years ago, and the leader of the seminar said, come up with a project so big and huge beyond yourself, something impossible. And I was sitting in my chair thinking, what is something impossible that I can do in my life? And I couldn't think of anything, and I heard the word Everest. So imagine I'm a kind of a person that I never hiked, never climbed anything, never been camping before, never slept in a sleeping bag, and I didn't own a pair of climbing boots, and I even hated cold weather. So a person with zero experience, now I wanted to climb Everest because I was assigned to do something impossible. So I went home and I Googled how to climb Everest, and a link showed up. I started reading about it, and there was information on I have to climb so many mountains all over the world, and that's how I can get to Everest. So I was really excited. I decided to climb all these mountains one by one. I started with the first one. First one was Mount Whitney in California. And I showed up in the middle of winter alone by myself with 3-4 feet of snow. And my bottle of water opened up inside my sleeping bag. And at 7 p.m. alone at 12,000 feet at night, there's nobody there. I just thought my bottle of water opened up inside my sleeping bag, and my sleeping bag got wet, and I didn't take a tent with me. So I was freezing cold. My sleeping bag is wet, and I thought I'm dying. And I decided to record a video of myself to say goodbye to my parents, and just, this would be my last thing to do in life, and just leave the phone there so when they find my body later on during the season, whenever that is. And so I started talking to the video. This is, and I apologized and all that. And let me go back to this. And then, so I decided to quit mountain climbing that night, because I tried to climb a few more mountains and I failed in every single one of them. So the same day that I decided to forget about mountain climbing and quit, I got a new job offer. I started teaching electrical engineering and computer science, which was my major, but this is what I studied at UCLA. And I got a new job to teach at California State University, Fullerton. And when I started teaching, I met the founder of organization Empower Nepali Girls, which is providing education for the girls who are forced to early marriage or might become victims of human trafficking. So we have 300 girls in 14 different villages all over Nepal. And we go every year to Nepal to help these kids, provide education for them. So when I heard about this organization, I heard that 17 years ago, when Dr. Cutler founded this organization, he realized that some of the girls disappear. There is this belief that men who are HIV positive, they think that if they sleep with a virgin girl, their HIVs get treated, they get well. So they buy the girls really cheap, like $50. The girls get diseases, and they get raped, they get diseases, and even if they survive and somehow go back to their villages, they can never have a regular life. So when I heard this, again, I said, I'm going to go back to climbing, but this time it's not going to be for myself. This time I'm going to be climbing Everest to raise funds and awareness for these girls. And I promised to raise $1 per foot of Everest or any mountain that I climb for the girls to continue their education. So I grew up in Iran, in Middle East, and I experienced firsthand gender discrimination myself. So for me, helping these girls were like helping my little self. Like all the opportunities I didn't have, I wanted to provide for them. And it gave me so much more motivation. It wasn't about me anymore. It was about something way bigger than me. It wasn't about my success or my failures anymore. And so that's how I continued on climbing mountains. And so Everest is like 29,000 feet. I promised to raise $29,000. And the cost for one girl to go to school one whole year is $170. And if a group of us just go out to dinner tonight virtually, it's going to be $170. So it's like, for them, it's like a whole year. So I was really motivated. I realized it's so easy to make a difference in Nepal. So I started taking these pictures of the girls to the top of the mountains. This one is Mount Rainier in Washington State, and just raising funds online, different events, however I could, and giving a lot of talks everywhere to promote the cause. And finally, I climbed the 6th highest mountain in the world, which is Chuoyu, 27,000 feet, and I raised $27,000 for them. And it was very challenging. Chuoyu took 45 days. So imagine 45 days of camping on ice and snow, the lack of oxygen, like all that extreme cold. The summit was negative 40 degrees. And negative 40 Celsius is the same as negative 40 Fahrenheit. At negative 40, they're the same. So it was extremely cold, windy, but I had a big cause, and that gave me a lot of strength to continue climbing mountains. And finally, I was ready for Everest after climbing 10 different mountains all over the world and facing all that hardship. And when I was on Everest, a 7.8 earthquake struck Nepal when I was at 20,000 feet. So the picture that you see on the right top, this is where I was on a wall, on an ice wall at 20,000 feet when the 7.8 earthquake struck us. So the whole wall started shaking left and right, breaking down. There were 12 avalanches around us. There was so much snow in the air that I couldn't see anything. I couldn't breathe. I climbed up really fast. I passed the edge. There was an anchor there. I clipped myself to the anchor. And somehow we survived it. We all survived it. But we flew back after 7 days of being stuck up there. And so many aftershocks, so many avalanches. Finally, we came back to Kathmandu, which is capital of Nepal. And I was extremely angry because I just raised money for the girls to continue their education. But now they didn't even have homes, or they didn't have schools. So now this is what I saw after 7 days of being stuck on the mountain and a whole month of being on the mountain and training. And finally, we got rescued. I came back to the United States, and I decided to go back to Everest, not just to go back to Everest, but climb the 7 highest peaks on 7 continents for the 7 organizations who are empowering women. So, of course, I'm going to go back and climb Everest again for Empower Nepali Girls next year. But I decided to climb the other 7 continents before that. So this is Kilimanjaro, the highest peak in Africa for Tanzanian women recovering from fistula. This lady that you see next to me, standing next to me, she had fistula, which is a disease, like a reproductive system disease, because she was 500 kilometers away from a hospital. So when she was giving birth, she didn't have a doctor. So she got some tear in her reproductive system. And as a result, she couldn't see people or hang out with people because she smelled so bad for 13 years. 13 years, her family left her, her husband left her, everybody left her, and she was alone. And this is the day after the surgery. I told her, what do you want to do now that you're good? She said, I want to go to a farm, plant tomatoes, and make money, make friends. There is a meeting every Wednesday that all the moms in my village, they gather up and go. I want to go to that meeting because I want to make friends. I'm alone. So her goal in life was go to that mom's meeting on Wednesdays after 13 years of being alone. So I was just so amazed and inspired meeting these powerful, resilient women and hearing their stories. And after that, I went to Antarctica, the coldest, driest, and the windiest continent in the world. And I climbed for women who are victims of abuse and violence, which called this organization, they're all nonprofit organization based in US called Omid Foundation. And I had the opportunity to meet these women and hear their stories of resilience, hardship, broken heart. And it was just so inspiring hearing how strong they are after what they've been through. And then after that, I went and I climbed the highest peak in Indonesia, which is the part of the Australian Oceanian continent down under. And this called Karsten's Pyramids, which is for refugee women who are settled in Jordan and Iraq. And mostly they are Syrian women. So this mountain was for them. So, I can tell you so many different stories from all these mountains, all the storms that I was stuck in, all the hardship, the cold weather. That's why I had to write a book, which called, that my first book was Follow My Footsteps, and my second book, Above the Mountain's Shadow, just came out yesterday. And they are both available on Amazon. I recommend my second book, Above the Mountain's Shadow. And I shared all these stories. If I had 12 hours, I would tell you all my stories, but I don't have 12 hours here. So, and I also have, if you want to hear more details and see more pictures, I have a TED Talk. If you go on YouTube and type my name, Sarah Safari, my TED Talk is there, which I explain things better than, in TED Talk, you have to talk very much more properly. So I want to tell you at the end the 5 lessons that I learned on the mountains. There is no perfect time. Start now. I have my running shoes next to my bed. So when I wake up in the morning, I don't think about running and how I feel about running. I just go running. And I don't wait for the perfect time. I don't wait for this perfect to get my next degree or next promotion at my job or the next thing. I'll just do things when they come to my mind. So that's what I learned that worked out for me. And try new things that are out of your comfort zone. I had no idea that I can speak in front of people. I had no idea that I can be a mountain climber, but trying them, I realized how much I like them. Number 3, if your life is easy, you are not living a big life. I really believe in that. So I welcome hardship. I welcome my fears and my failures, which takes me to number 4, make friends with your fears and welcome failures. And number 5, there is no top to this mountain. So if I never make it to the top of Everest and I fail again, I don't care. I'm going to continue mountain climbing because it's not about top of the mountain. It's not about my success and my failure. It's about my causes. It's about empowering women. And they are much bigger than me. I learned it's all about the journey and it's not about the top of the mountain. And I heard this beautiful quote from Confucius. Confucius says, our greatest glory is not in never falling, but in rising every time we fall. Thank you.
Sarah, right after the earthquake, our club was the lead club in raising funds In about 2 weeks, I raised almost $23,000.
That's amazing. Thank you so much for doing that. Thank you.
10,000 of it went for building new sheds. The other 12,000 is gone to build a school there near Kathmandu.
Wow.
We'll have a instrumental in leading the fundraising for Nepal.
Beautiful. Thank you for saying that. Thank you for sharing that.
Which was one of my questions, Sarah. You're very impressive. How and where did you find the dollar per foot of each mountain?
How did I find it? Like in different events, I would promote it. I would ask people as a gift, you're going to help the girls in Nepal, but as a gift, I'm going to climb on your behalf. So this 100 feet of Everest is a gift from me to you, Rick, because you're donating $100 to the girls.
Okay. That's cool.
How high can you go before you have to have oxygen?
Can you say again? Can you say
How high do you climb before you need oxygen?
26,000.
Wow. David can't even go skiing without need oxygen at 10,000. How did you acclimate yourself?
There is a mountain like an hour from me. It's 10,000 feet. So I go there. So my body is adjusted to 10,000. That's where my body and my brain thinks I live. But I live very close, like 20 minutes from the ocean. So I'm really living at sea level. But the mountain is like an hour. So I try to go there at least once a month. But when I'm very close to the next mountain that I'm climbing and I really have to acclimatize, I go to Mount Whitney, which is the mountain that I was about to die, which is 14,500 feet. It's the highest if you don't include Alaska in U.S. Northern America, Whitney is the highest, 14,500, which is the best mountain to acclimatize there.
Was it Mammoth or which mountain do you climb on normally?
Baldy.
Oh, Mount Baldy. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, it's been very inspiring.
That's near L.A.
Yeah. And you live near L.A., right?
Yes.
Okay. And you still teach?
Sorry, I didn't hear you.
You still teach?
Yes, I'm a PhD student. I just came out of my class to do this talk of a speaking engagement off of my book. And I'm also writing a new textbook for university students. So I have 5 full-time jobs.
Very good.
Thanks.
We need more young people like you.
Thanks.
I don't have a question for Sarah, but I would like to know if Karen can give us her contact information.
I definitely can. How would you? Go ahead.
Karen, what is your
HA?
Okay. And what is the best way to contact you?
Email would probably be the easiest if that's good for you.
That's fine.
And it's smahakm@gmail.
At Gmail?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. We appreciate
Before you guys go, I have a request. I'm just hoping that if there is a way you can share some part of this video, maybe like 5 minutes of my talk or the link to my TED younger generations, to especially high school kids and college kids who are like these days, they are so lost and they're looking for a way to get empowered and inspired and do something. So if you can share this, I would really appreciate it. And I don't mind doing the same thing that I just did here in different schools or places like universities that you think it would be beneficial for them. I can get online and do this over and over. I don't mind it. Like my passion in life is helping people. And this is what I want to do for the rest of my life. It drives me. It's my oxygen. So I really appreciate it if you can share this or just my TEDx talk on YouTube with your contacts. I really appreciate it.
What is your email address?
My name dot my last name at Yahoo.
Okay, Sarah Safari at Yahoo.
There are dots. There's a dot in the middle.
Oh, Sarah Dot. Okay.
But Sarah doesn't have an H. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendship? Will it be beneficial to all concerned?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And Sarah, our RI president, Rotary International's president's theme this year is "Be the Inspiration."
Perfect. That's perfect.
Mm-hmm.
How can I be a speaker in one of the big Rotary's events, like big events?
I think you'd be great at the Interact or Rotaract events.
Yeah, the high school and college clubs, we can possibly get you in contact with them, with the chairman of those. Interact is usually high school, and Rotaract is college plus a little after if some of them have community base. Also,
Mhm. Okay.
also you can go to, let me think a minute. There's over 300 e-clubs in the world.
Mhm.
And those are all listed on the Rotary International website,
Mhm.
rotary.org. But
Okay.
they have them from Australia to Europe to wherever. And so if you want more e-clubs where you can just do it online, then that's a good way to do it.
Okay. Okay. Can you send me the membership information?
Sure.
Thank you. Yeah.
Yes.
Notice that, Karen. Are you doing karaoke?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Howard, have you quit recording? Can you edit all this last part out after the meeting? Oh, okay. No. Okay. 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 No, it's just that normally it's the meeting. So anyway, but we don't have Rotary laws. We don't have Rotary police. Okay. Okay. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Have a good week.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you. Thank you. All right. Bye.